Good morning again. I'm excited about the day, y'all. Okay, so good morning and welcome to Living Out Loud podcast. I am the teacher and I am living out loud. I am becoming out loud. I'm healing out loud. I am going to become healthy out loud. Physically healthy out loud. The struggle is real. Struggle streaming. Telephone cutting out, losing signals. I don't even normally lose a signal there. Anyway, let me tell y'all what's happening today. It's so exciting. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have an interview today. I have an interview today. It is an interview for a job that I currently do. This job, however, is one, going to pay me a little bit more money to do the job, and it's going to allow me to plan programs on a larger scale. Okay? So, I am an adult program. I plan programs for adults. I used to be a person who planned programs for children. I am a licensed, currently expired, but licensed nonetheless, educator, fine arts educator. I'm not going to do an art lesson this morning. I was about to ask you all if you know what art is. Yes, I am. It is a form of communication. So I teach you all how to communicate. I show you the process. I teach you the process. And there are many fine arts processes. So that is what I teach. I started a business a while back. That I forgot all about that. I started a business, Miss Mal, Mobile Art Lady, where I would go out into the community and do what I do. That's literally what is happening. That's what's happening. I go out into the community, outreach, programs that will bring people to the facility, and now I do passive programs. I'm practicing, y'all. I'm practicing. I just told you I have an interview, but that's too much talking. They don't want to hear all that. So, I don't know where I was. on the other side of the table as the interviewer. And I recall rooting for every person that sat in that house, in that hot seat. There was some who were just so nervous. Oh, I felt so bad for them. But I understand. I get that. I get it. Lord have mercy. I always think about things that I should have said after the interview, because those thoughts just don't come to me right there when I'm in that hot seat. And I notice about myself, and so that raises my stress levels. Go ahead, walk on out in the street. I ain't hit nobody in a while. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Woo-hoo. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm distracted by this. Okay, so I understand your nerves just really getting the best of you, because that has happened to me. But the last interview that I had, y'all, I had straight up attitude, and I got the job. And because of my attitude, my nerves didn't get the better of me. I was mad. I was upset because I was interviewing for a job that I had already interviewed for. Anyway, that's a story for another time. So I had all kinds of attitude. So, I wasn't nervous because I was too busy having a case of the you-know-what rhymes with pass. Good morning. Good morning to you. I'm just rambling this morning. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hey, Liza. I got an interview this morning. I have an interview this morning, and I'm just talking about that. I'm just thinking about some things that I have done, things that I'm going to talk about. I don't know how. Okay, so I'm in a time in my life where I have to be open, okay? I have to be honest. I just don't know how much honesty. I don't like this interview process. I don't like it. Worth a ding dong. But I'll be all right. I struggle with that question. I know God's got me. But do I have me? Am I gonna go up in there? No, I'm not. I am going to slay this interview. I am going to wow the people. They're gonna be like, wow, what? Y'all remember the time? The first grade teacher was teaching on China, the Great Wall of China. So, okay, all right. Let's see what we can do with that lesson in the art classroom. How can I tie those two things together? How can I help these children understand the Great Wall of China from a different perspective? So, we went on a campaign, and we started collecting boxes. We was asking everybody, the whole school, middle school, high school, everybody, bring us your boxes, those shoe boxes. Bring them, and we're gonna build a wall. We're gonna build a wall, and the wall was gonna be as big as the shoe boxes allow. And so that's what we did. We started getting shoe boxes. Well, it was a small school, so we didn't get as many shoe boxes as I would have liked. So we started. The kids would come to the class. We covered them with paper and painted them different colors, brilliant colors, bright colors. And then when they were all done and dry, we went out to the first grade classroom and we started building a great wall. Well, again, it was a small school, didn't get a whole lot of boxes, so it ended up being the mini wall of first grade. Would you call that a fail, an epic fail? Oh, epic fail. I did a lesson. We built a kite. Some of the older grades, we built kites. I did it with all of them. Anyway, we built kites, okay? And the day came that we were able to go outside and fly the kites. Well, it became apparent to me after the first class was out there trying to get those kites off the ground in the air that these kites were not going to fly. There was something wrong with the design of the kite. They were not. The little kids really couldn't get them in the air because they couldn't run fast enough. Oh my gosh, y'all! I sat out on the bleachers and I watched those kids try to get those kites in the air. Then they were having a good time. They were having a good time because they were outside and they was running around and they was playing. But again, it became apparent to me that those kites were not going to go in the air. And all I could do was laugh. Y'all, it was a funny day for me because every class that went outside to try to fly those kites struggled. Even the fifth graders, yeah, they couldn't get them in the air. And maybe one out of all of the kites that were made it in the air. But yeah, it was funny to me. Because I knew after the first class that they were not going to fly, but I couldn't tell the people. I couldn't dash their hopes. I couldn't. So they had to go. They had to try. They had to try and see if they would fly. They did not. Now look, watch this. This interview got me thinking about things that I've done, and things that I want to do. So, garden clubbers. I have not given up on the community educational garden. Okay, that is still going to happen. But how it's going to happen is, I am going to become president of the Roots Garden Club. Okay, so you want to be a part of building the community educational garden? Oh Lord, y'all, the sun is in my face. It is reflecting off of the pavement and I am struggling to see. So I'm about to get the ham sandwich off this here interstate. That's right, you heard me. I know what I said. I am good about killing the King's English. I will tear up a word in a heartbeat. In a Okay. Focus, Christine. Focus. Christian school. So there were some things that we didn't do in the Christian school. But then I wasn't working in the Christian school. I was now planning programs for the young people, children. Children's programs, okay? And I went to an establishment that already had programs in place. They had a haunted house that drew hundreds. The people loved that haunted house. They loved it. It may have been the signature program for that facility. Anyway, I'm sorry. Now, I'm a church girl, y'all. I'm a church girl. I've been in the church my whole entire life. Whole life. Mom was pregnant when she gave her life to Christ. She was a dancer. Well, sort of. She was a dancer. Not praise dancer. She would praise him in the dance. Okay? And she was pregnant with me. So, when she gave birth to me, I was a breech birth. I was all turned around. Coming out, feet, butt, I don't know. It might have been my little booty. Anyway, the word on the street is the doctor saw what was happening. He left, came back with 6 more doctors. They were coming. Lord have mercy, I'm thinking they must have scared them. She was in a military hospital. Dad was in the military. She was in a military, Portsmouth Naval. I ain't gonna talk about military doctors because I just don't know them. I don't know. I've heard horror stories, but that's a conversation for another time. Anyway, breech birth, all turned around. Church girl. Church girl. Always in the church. Oh my gosh. Wednesday night. Sunday. Choir rehearsal. Saturday. Always. Oh my gosh. As a kid, sometimes I just didn't want to go to church. But that was my life. Church girl. The church has been a great influence on my life. Don't even get it twisted. I'm not saying anything negative about the church or being a church girl. It is how I survived all that I have been through. Okay. So I went to a secular, yes, that's the word that we use, secular environment, and they were doing these haunted houses, and I got an opportunity to be a part of building the haunted houses. Now there was a girl who worked with me, co-worked with me. She too was a church girl, and she did not participate in the building of the haunted house because she was too doggone holy. I am not. I reveled in it. Can y'all see my hair? Half my hair is black. The other half is black. This is an outward expression of what is going on internally. I'm an artist, y'all. Art is a form of communication, non-verbal communication. This is saying something. What it says is, I recognize, I welcome, I relish, I am happy for the maturity, for the age, for the wisdom that this represents. But I also recognize that I've got a dark side. I suppressed the dark side. I had no reason to unleash the dark side. Not as a teacher in a Christian school. No, there was no opportunity except for joking around with my coworkers who, anyway, dark side, haunted house. Man, I did paper mache skulls. I built catacombs with those skulls. Oh, one year, we rolled paper, created branches, glued those rolled papers, and we rolled hundreds. I had everybody in the facility rolling paper. And we hot glued them to copy of paper boxes, set them on a table, and the room that we built the haunted house in had a door that led to the outside. So the people lined up at that door. Well, when they walked into the door, they saw an archway of those rolled papers. And at the end of that archway was the Grim Reaper. One of the kids in the neighborhood was the Grim Reaper. And he was summoning them. Come on. Walk this way. Come on in here. If you think you're brave enough. Come on. The deputies were there. The deputies were there to keep control of the people, because I said to you that this program, this haunted house, drew hundreds. So they were out there. So people would go into the door, right, and see what was waiting for them. And they would try to run back out the door. And I would stop them. Oh no. Oh no. This is not an exit. The only way you can go is forward. Oh my gosh. The screams. Don't judge me. Please don't judge me. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't do it. So how? This is who I am, right? This is how I'll tell that story. If I have an opportunity, this is how I'll tell it. Is it too much? Talk to me, Nicole. Please talk to me. Is it do I need to reel myself in and become the professional? I don't even know what that is. Professional. Oh my God. Political. Y'all, I don't know how to be politically correct. So what I'll be is quiet. I'll just shut up. Because you don't need to know what I'm thinking. Because I'm probably thinking something that would get me fired if I don't use wisdom and judgment. Oh my gosh. I am not looking forward to this. Well, actually I am. in my spirit, woman, that I'm going to get this job. I really do. I really do. I think that, and I think that because I applied for this job before. I applied for the job before. Okay. But I made a fatal flaw. I made a fatal flaw. I did not update the supplemental questions. It never made it past human resources. Ugh. I was sick. But now, the job has reappeared. I'm ready now. I said then what I'm saying now. If I get that interview, that job is mine. I'm not leaving without it. They're going to have to offer that job to me today. Should I tell them? Should I tell them that? I'm not leaving here until y'all put a contract in front of me. Can I get an offer today? Y'all got some more you need to interview. You need to talk to more people. Can't you see that I am the one? I am her. Anyway, yeah, y'all. Living out loud. I am living out loud. And then after I get this job, I'm gonna have. I'm gonna need to know what to do with this additional money. Because truth be told, I'm not making enough to take over the world, but I'm okay. I'm comfortable. I'm a single person. I don't need a whole lot. I'm a simple woman. Simple woman. I don't need a whole lot, but I do have. I need to know what to do with this money. I need to learn how to invest. I'm not the only one who is interested in that kind of thing. These are the kinds of programs that you need to look for, along with gardening. So, I did say that I was going to become the president of the Roots Garden Club. That means that I can still be a part of building this garden, this educational community garden in the place that I plan for it. The system that I'll be going to is right next door. It will, so the people in the community, it's the same. There's another facility very close to where the garden is going to be. I am being mindful of sharing location right now because these videos are going out to the public, and we know that there's a section of the population, there's a section of the public that is influenced by this present darkness. Y'all like how I did that? This, oh, damn it to hell, I left my book. Cat! Do I want to turn around and go back home? There are a couple of things that I left. Okay, I'm back. there's a book. Ooh, I think um yeah. I just realized I walked out of the house without something that I wanted to have. That has totally redirected my thoughts. I'm debating on I cannot. I have a job to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Garden club. So we're still gonna build the garden club, the community garden. It's a great program. It's a good thing that ought to happen. And so yeah, I'm not willing to let that go. So that's how I will stay connected to building the educational community garden. I'm going to become president of the Roots Garden Club. Now, all in favor? Yes, thumbs up. All opposed? I don't care. I don't even care. Because you probably won't come out and help build this garden up. You probably don't want to be a part of this great thing that is about that is happening. It's happening because trees. We're going to be planting trees, fruit and nut trees, in April. So that's it's happening. I'm going to be buying containers, and we're going to put those together, and we're going to set those out along the sidewalk for our senior neighbors who want to garden, who can pull their seats, their walkers up to the containers, raised containers, and garden. I don't want to put anything in the ground, not in that area. I think everything should be raised in that area. Anyway, so I'm going to continue in building that in this project. I am, and then I'm going to go over to this new system and see what they have going on and push my ideas and see, throw it on the wall and see what sticks. And I am okay. So what to do with this money? One of my coworkers asked me about my future. Where did I see myself in 5 years? And I realized I didn't have an answer. I had a plan. I've had a plan. I've talked about it. I've talked about this bed and breakfast that I want to have. Oh man, it's beautiful. It is a large establishment. It's sitting on a patch of green acres. It's got everything you need for hunting. It's got everything you need for fishing. It's got everything you need for hiking. It's got everything you need for vacationing. It's got everything you would want if you want to stay in the house and do nothing. And because of where the house will be, because it's in Virginia, where we're surrounded by you can vacation at the beach. You can go to the beach. You're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the beach. You're a hop, skip, and a jump away from the mountains. You're a hop, skip, and a jump away from wooded areas where you can hunt. There's fishing everywhere. Well, bed and breakfast. I want to create spaces where people can come and stay for a while. Vacation. Sanctuaries. Because all of them will be anointed places of peace. When you walk through the door, you will know that you have entered in. You can't bring your all of your negativities, all of your worries, all of those things, those anxieties are just going to fade away. That is my prayer for every bed and breakfast that I will have. Now, gotta make it happen. Gotta make it happen. How to make it happen? Pocket watching with JT. YouTube streets. Look, I told y'all I hated school, but I love learning. Hated school, love learning. So I'll be tuning in. Oh, I joined the Patreon. I joined the Lead Attorneys Patreon. Yes, I did. Because I'm going to learn how to navigate in these YouTube streets. I'm going to learn how to get these subscribers. I'm going to, I'm telling y'all now, I'm going to show you all my analytics when I get to 1,000 subscribers, which is what I need. And right now I have 11. And 4,000 watch hours is what I need. Right now I have 4.6 watch hours. So I know people are watching, but what I need for people to do is to go on over to YouTube. Okay? Go on over to YouTube. There's a lot to learn on these YouTube streets. There's a bunch of mess going on these YouTube streets, but there's also a lot that you can learn going on. I sit in front of the television anyway. I am a TV watcher. I'm a movie watcher. I love movies. Game of Thrones, there are many movies. Game of Thrones, Harry Potter. Yes, Harry Potter, Lords of the Ring, precious, my precious, Smeagol. He's my favorite character, and Samwise is my favorite character in Lords of the Ring, and Sam from Game of Thrones is between Sam and the Night King. You know, I likes the Night King. The Night King is cool. He's ooh. Maybe I could go into the interview like the Night King. Cool. Professional. What time is it? 10 o'clock. Alright, I'm doing good. I'm doing real good, y'all. I think I might make it to work on time today. Yeah. Y'all wanna hear from me after y'all wanna know how the interview went? put it down in the comment section. I'll come back after the interview if y'all want to hear how it went. I thought about asking them if I could record the interview for training purposes, because I teach the computer classes, job help. We do job help. So, helping people to get comfortable, be comfortable. Don't let your with the interview process. I know for me that I wasn't comfortable in that process until I had the attitude, until I had that last interview and I was over it. I told y'all I had an attitude. It was only then that my nerves, they were gone because I had so much attitude. And really, based on the questions that they were asking me, they really wanted to know how I get along with people, how I would behave as a member of the team. They're bringing me on to a team, and I had to let them know. Again, I had attitude, and I had attitude with the person who was sitting at that table. So what I said was, I get along with people. I really do. I get along with most people. But certainly there are people that I don't get along with. But what I found is that if I can't get along with a person, it's probably them and not me. No one can get along with this person. Y'all, I keep getting a break light. I don't know why. It's not if it was, I think I might be low on break fluid. There's some things I'm really good at, and then there's some things that I'm really not good at all. And vehicle maintenance, I am not good at that. I need to go get my oil changed, and I need to find out why this brake light is coming on, and ask them first I'm asking them to top off the brake fluid. I don't even think I'll mention it. I'll ask them to check it. That's what I'll do. And I'll get this oil changed. I am going to do that before I start this new job. Y'all hear what I said? Y'all hear what I said? Did y'all hear what I said? The Bible says there's life and death in the tongue. Speak life. I speak life. I'm gonna get this job, y'all. I know it. I speak life. Why? 'Cause I am the head and not the tail. I will prevail. I speak life. I won't give up the fight. I will win and not die. Yeah, not gonna die in this interview process. It will not be an epic fail. I'm gonna slam, knock down. So yeah, haunted house. That was so much fun. So much fun. I am definitely gonna sneak in the blacklight theater that we did. It was a blacklight dinner theater, y'all. It was so much fun. So much fun. Creating it. Hey, are y'all interested in volunteering. Become a volunteer. Become a volunteer. Consider it. Would you consider it? Becoming a volunteer in your city, in the city that you live in. They're going to do it's an application. They're going to do a background check. Because you'll be in a environment where you're working with the public. Sorry, y'all. So yeah, consider it. Consider volunteering. I know y'all don't have a whole lot of time, but you can volunteer as much time as you want to. So, I know. I'm asking a lot. I want you to join the Roots Garden Club and help me build this garden. I want you to be a volunteer for your city. I do. I want a lot. Okay, so. This is what I do. I know that I need a team. I need a good team. I need a team that can work together and work towards a common goal. I need people who are who don't mind sharing their gifts and talents, their strength and their brawn. That's what I need. I know what I need as a program planner. I need people who are not afraid to do some work. Ooh, that's a topic for another chat. Do your doggone job. If it's your job to do it. If you don't like the job, find another one. Find another one that you will like. I don't do what I do for the money. I told y'all I do okay. I do all right. I'm a single person. I am how I describe it. Independently wealthy. Operative word is independent. As long as I don't have to take care of anybody else, I'm good. I'm straight. Otherwise, I'm right at the poverty line. Anyway. But I don't do what I do just for the money. I do what I do because I like people. I like people, and I like building and creating and beautifying and nature and learning and teaching. That's who I am. That is who I am, y'all. I'm practicing. That is who I am. I am a teacher. Even before I was a teacher, I was a teacher. I like to gather information and then share it in such a way that, I get it. I process it slowly, like a slow churn, like that creamy ice cream. I am a slow processor. I take it in. I am an audio-visual learner. I take it in. I process it slowly, and then I disseminate it. I share it. I spread it in the best way possible, in the best form possible. It may be nonverbal, through my artwork, or through my writing, or through my programs. Anyway, through the programs that I plan and that I am a part of. So, Alright, I gotta get ready to go, y'all. So y'all gonna hear from me later today, okay? Keep a sister in prayer. Keep me in prayer. Don't let me falter. Anyway, again, I'm gonna bid you all adieu. I'm gonna holler back at you a little bit later on. I'm gonna look at these comments when I get to work and see what y'all are talking about. I'm gonna take it in, use it, take it with me, because I know it's good. It's all good. It's all good, even if it's just a go girl. I'm gonna take that in. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna ingest it, and I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. So, comment and go to YouTube, subscribe, comment, hit the like button, and the notification bell so that you all know when I upload a video. These car chats are Facebook, but I'm going to start uploading other videos, and they will be on YouTube only. So, I'm getting ready to go. Time to make the donuts. So, I'll holler back at y'all a little bit later on today, okay? All right. I love you all tonight. Bye for now.